Sometimes I never know what I'm going to say till I say it. You know? I don't know if you're like that, but I'm a very spontaneous speaker. I never have a script. So can you see my screen? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, good. So this is me. This is my family. This is my desktop. This is where I work. And that's my view out of the window right now. But okay, there's too much reflection at this time of night, really. But anyway, I normally do that in the daytime and it's more fun. So let me change that and then go this and go to that. So our topic for tonight is creating engagement on social media. And this is actually part of a module that we teach in a workshop called the Social Media Bootcamp. So you're getting a sort of an inside track on some of the stuff that we teach our students. And kind of like the sandbox that we work on, depending on where your audience is, how social media is, how much you feel like you want to use one of these. There's lots of opportunity to do that. So Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook is specifically where I'm going to look at tonight. A little bit of LinkedIn, a little bit of hashtagging. So just run through that. I just remembered I should stop my share for a second because I should mute you all because I got some people I can hear. And so let me just give me a second. And I'll just mute everybody. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, so we know that we live in 2017. That's not exciting anymore. It feels like 2017's been here a long time, and it sure as heck feels like a long winter. What I try and do with people is I try and teach social media as easily as I can. So I teach it on what I call 5 simple principles. Is that, you know, our job is to educate. Social media works much better for its entertaining. The reason that we educate and we entertain people is that we can start engagement, so that engagement becomes a two-way conversation. When people start to understand who we are and what we do, then hopefully we're going to be able to empower them to feel better about themselves. And through that empowering, that's kind of where the shift goes from help to sell. So people really start to get to know who we are, what we do, and that's where those conversations really start to happen about, well, maybe you could help me. And then the fifth part is they get so excited about the fact that you can help them. Goodness me, it is snowing so heavy out there. That's insane. Is that they're so excited in that what's possible is that they sign up. And I've seen that hundreds of times. So for those of you who don't know me, and there's a couple of people on the call that I've never met before, which is awesome. So welcome for that. Very quick story. This is my wife, Debbie, and I. This was our highlight of last year when we moved house, and I wish this house looked like that right now because the snow is way up, halfway up the front door right now. But anyway, this was a moment that, you know, got a lot of engagement for us on social media. It's my wife, Debbie. And for the most part, a lot of my social media revolves around our family because most people use social media to engage with the family and share them. So we have 3 children, Gemma, Ellen, and Maddie, and they have very unique personalities. They have unique careers that they go out in the world. But suffice to say that that's the 5 of us at JD Gem, and that is my social media branding. Because it's very important when you're engaging with people that you're easily remembered. And the more stories you tell, the more smiles people see, the more feelings that they get about you that are positive, the more likelihood they're going to remember you and look out for your stuff. So I brand my social media around my family, and that's very important and deliberate for me. And that's how we do it. For those, again, that don't know me, I got involved in social media from a very unusual perspective in that in 2008, I was in a really bad car accident. After any amount of treatment in any which way forward, the only way to fix my neck was to repair it through surgery. So I ended up getting a titanium neck rebuild. So I had like a Terminator neck. And out of that, I was able to have some time that I didn't expect to have. And you can't see my screen, really? Oh, well, thank you for texting somebody. Why is that? Okay, let's try it again. You see it now?
Yeah, it works now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, let me just go back a little bit. I apologize for that. I thought I was sharing. Okay, there we go. You see it now? Okay, So when I was talking about the educate, the entertain, the engage, the empower, and excite, that's sort of the journey that I was taking you along. And thank you for letting me know. I didn't realize it looked like it was sharing on my screen. This is Debbie and I, the house I was telling you about, Gemma, Ellen, and Maddie, and our Twitter name. And that's a story that I use so much because each of the girls have got, as I say, their own personality. Gemma lives in Victoria, Ellen lives in Australia, Maddie's graduated and is looking to share a house with a friend at some point in time, but not quite yet. So for me, what I do as a business person and what I do as a dad and a husband is very, very similar. You know, I help people as much as I inspire my kids, and my wife, you know, inspire my clients as well. So when people hire me, because of my social media, they already know what they're going to get because they've gotten to know me and we've engaged. And invariably, it's quite fun. Quite often, I'll get a phone call from somebody, normally a man, and say, "You don't know me, but my wife says we should talk." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Yep, I have a business. We're not on social media. We have a website. It doesn't work. And my wife keeps seeing you on social media, and apparently you're the guy for me." So you got to love it when people, you know, call you up and your social media has worked that well that they're already ready to engage with you. So I talked a little bit about my neck, and I got to this point because when in 2009, it was a very dark place for me. I was broke, seriously underfunded in my business planning because I didn't expect to have all this time off post-surgery. And my friend Neil Gordon came over and he gave me this quote, which was from Napoleon Hill. "Out of every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit." And unbeknownst to me, learning social media in 2009 turned into a whole career for me, which has now led to the agency that we run now. And but I couldn't see it at the time. But I find so often in social media, just those little words of encouragement when somebody's pet's died or they've had their car broken into or a tree hit their barn or whatever it is, just being that positive influence rather than just being negative makes a lasting impression. And I can't begin to tell you how many people gravitate to my social media and that they'll tell me in person or online, you know, how much they appreciate my sentiment, my big heart, as a lot of people tell me. And that's really the engagement that turns into leads, that turns into my business. I have no marketing budget whatsoever. I don't spend any money on marketing. I don't join any professional organizations. I generate all of my leads through social media, and we've never been busier. So based on that, I put together what I call my dream team. And these are just a few of the people that work with us in our agency. So when people come to us, if they need, you know, a strategy, a website, a video, photography, great SEO, whatever they need, lead generation captures, I have a team of over 20 people that work with me that the answer is, yeah, we can do that. And I've built this team since 2009, and it keeps growing, and I keep finding great people. Sebastian and I have been working together for about a year. He joined the team just last month. He works with a company called Infusionsoft. He's an Infusionsoft partner. And the guy is brilliant at lead generation. So that just turning those website visits into emails, which turn into potential customers, is another route that we go. So those 5 needs of social media, as I say, I teach it on one hand, make it easier. So first and foremost, you know, we have to educate people about who we are and what we do. So like with the fundraising, Barbara, you know, we need to tell people what that product is and how they do it. The engagement part is what we're talking about tonight. We want that social media to be fun so that it's entertaining. You know, we want to empower people that what we have to offer is going to make a difference in their life. And if we get those 4 pieces right, you know, people will be that excited that they do want to do business with us. So I always come back to this question when I work with people. It's like, what are people struggling with the most? You know, it could well be that they don't do a great job of keeping in touch with their clients. And I sometimes say to them, well, why don't you just go old school and send them a handwritten card? And I went, well, how do you do that? So my friend Eileen over there, she very kindly, I have a whole drawer now of handwritten cards. So depending on my clients, I have these beautiful cards that I send out every week to different people. So it gets a stamp on it, it goes out in the mail, they open it. And invariably, whenever I go to visit with somebody, there's that card on their desk. So it's a visual reminder. So whatever they're struggling with, you can make a difference and you can make a lasting impression. And ideally, what you want your social media to do is answer the question to fix the problem. So if we were to do that, if we were to be real, if we were to sort of create these emotional connections that I was talking about, and if we come over in a very authentic fashion, it's most likely that people will want to do business with you because you're very real. I'd say the authenticity of social media is probably the most important currency that you can trade. And when you're trading that kind of emotional connection, doing business with people actually comes very naturally. So this is how we do business. We'll talk about this a little bit more, but we always start with the website. And to me, a website really is just an e-brochure unless it's built properly. And the reason a website will be built properly is if you're constantly telling stories about what it is that you do. And that's where the blog kicks in. And if you have that blog as a center of your activity for your website, and all the stories that you share on social media are your stories from your website, then you are head and shoulders above 98% of the people on social, because everybody else just shares somebody else's stuff or they just vent. There's very few people who are positive influencers who are actually teaching and giving away the best stuff for free, because that's how it comes back. The whole idea that anything is proprietary now and that you can charge for everything, is a nice to know, but in reality, it doesn't happen that often. You're almost best to give your best stuff away first, and then people will come back for more. And again, I have found that to be a winning process, again and again. So however people get in touch with you, however the dice rolls, whether people are chatting with you, they're tweeting with you on Twitter, they're sharing your content, they're liking, they're making comments on the blog, the most important thing is that you write back to them. So if someone shares one of my posts, I always like that, and I always say, thank you for sharing. If I get a friend request, I'll look at it. And if I don't know the person, I'm not adding them as a friend, but I'll write back and say, I'm not sure, we know each other. Just so you know, my personal Facebook page is exactly that. But I spend a ton of time over on my business page, and here's a link. So, don't feel rejected and I'm not accepting your friend request. Maybe we will become friends in time, but for now, let's get to know each other over on my business page. It's like if you lived in a shop and you had an apartment above the storefront, if you like, and your store was underneath. People wouldn't come necessarily straight into your apartment until you got to know them, but they'd come into your storefront. And that's how it works in social too. So whether people are chatting with you, engaging with you, I always write back. I always thank them for their kind words. I often send them, a positive private message sometimes, but it's that level of engagement that really starts to make the difference. And I can tell you, so few people do it. It's an old-fashioned thing. It's called manners. And we were all brought up with good manners to say please and thank you and stand up when a lady walks in the room. I mean, that just doesn't happen very often. But for the people that do it in social media, you will be outstanding. So when I work with people, I give them a mission. And our mission for tonight is, should you choose to accept it, is I want you to become one of the most engaging teachers in the world in what it is that you do. And actually, I'm recording this webinar too, and I'll send you all a link at the end, so you can rewatch this, because I see a lot of you busy taking notes there, so I'll give you a copy of it too. So how do you become the most engaging teacher in the world? Well, it's not necessarily easy. It can be a challenge, and that's why this meetup is called the Social Media Challenge, because I've been on this journey to success for a very long time. I mean, we started this meetup in April 2010, so we're almost 7 years old in this meetup, and this is exactly what I've been doing, over 90 times in a public meetup setup, is just sharing our best stuff, bringing the very best people that I know on a certain topic to the room to be able to create that journey together of learning. And our network meetings are very, very different, because we don't pitch, we don't sell, we just meet, and it's social, and it's all about education. And that's the more you educate people and give your best stuff away, the more they appreciate you. So we run different boot camps right now. We just finished last week our first week of our winter boot camp. And what we're teaching everybody in that group, and some of you are in that boot camp already, is to change this paradigm on social media so that you help people, you don't sell to them. Because if you suddenly, somebody added me the other day, and I know this guy quite well. He asked me to be his friend on Facebook. I went, I know his wife quite well, so I added him. Not kidding you, within 5 minutes, I get a personal message on Facebook, check out my website. And it's like, dude, are you serious? And he's trying to sell me some wraps to wrap around my body or something. I went, I accepted your friendship 5 minutes ago, and you're trying to sell me something. Well, you know, that's really going to work. Not. So build those relationships, build that rapport, wait until you see that somebody needs some actual help and help them. Still at this point, I haven't sold anything to anybody, but believe me, that sale comes around again and again and again. I mean, I had 5 different sales calls today from people looking at our services. All of those people called me. I didn't approach one of them just because of the strategy. So when we position ourselves as an authority, and we take it to our website, and this has got an old slide, I must change out because it says 2016. But we do webinars, we do the Meetup, we do a lot of free events where people can come and hear a taster of what it is that you do. And then at the end of that taster, then you could give an opportunity to go deeper, whether you offer them a strategy session or a download for an ebook or an opportunity to do an exploratory discovery call. But just getting yourself in front of people, whether you're speaking at a BNI or a Lunch and Learn or a Meetup or a webinar of your own that you host, that's where you can really start to position yourself, engage with people as I'm looking at you all now in the sidebar screen. And this is where you really start to make a difference. So then when they get to your website, and this is, I just took a screenshot because I was multitasking today, and you can see that lady's picture up there. Her name is Liana. She was doing a webinar, and I'm watching that, but I'm also working. And so many people now, when they're on webinars, they're working away and doing other things. And she's doing a style challenge, and I'm here on my website. And of course, we were sending people to her website for the style challenge. But when they get to your website, what are they finding? Is your website homepage got enough lead generation on it that it really takes people into a journey? So you can see here my homepage. I'm hopefully coming across very approachable. And the first thing I'm offering is like, you can have a free 1-month trial of our Inner Circle. And there's a big button there, apply for your 1-month trial. And we have Inner Circle this Thursday afternoon. A number of people who are on a 1-month trial just to see what we do month to month to see if it's a fit for them. I have a speaker from New York who's a stand-up comedian for the last 10 years. She now specializes in teaching people how to get ready to do Facebook Live. So she shows them how to warm up, how to project the voice even though it's on a phone, how to have facial expressions that people really enjoy. And Elaine's awesome. And they're going to get that for free. At this point, I still haven't sold anything. I'm educating, I'm paying it forward, and giving people a link into my Inner Circle for a month. And then, at the end of that month, I'm going to give them the opportunity to stay. And that's where I'm at. And in fact, a beautiful picture of Eileen smiling now. I think she's on the call right now. So the best way to get that message across, as I said, from that website is from your blog. So that blog of yours becomes the very heartbeat, the very passion of your business. And that's where people really start to sort of feel how much you want to help them. They've seen that. They're reading about the case studies of the difference that you've made in other people's businesses and lives. And that's where they gravitate towards coming back to wanting to do business with you. So whatever that blog is that you write about, I picked up some slides here from last year, but this time last year, I was writing about how to excel in social media in 2016. I was inviting people to do life together with me in 2016 when we started these webinars and online courses for the very first time. And here I am a year later. I think we have 56 people in this bootcamp. It's very hard to get 56 people in a room live these days, but I can get them in a room twice a week live because of the webinar format. And they're happy to pay really good money to be in that group. So it all comes from this same philosophy of paying it forward, helping people out, and then they just want to go deeper as they get to know you. So nuts and bolts of your blog are very important, and we teach this as part of our bootcamp. And part of the Empower, but a few things that you need to know is that you have to have a strategy. Doing social media from the hip without really having a plan of what you're going to write about through the week. So we take people through what we call a creative process. It's never easy. We're always encouraging people to practice. We love to schedule content so that, you know, if you're having a bad day or you're super busy, there's already stuff already scheduled to go out, so you've got that consistency going through. Sometimes we do it in batches. A lot of people do their social media on a Sunday afternoon. They write a few blogs and they pre-schedule their LinkedIn, their Twitter, their Google Plus for the week ahead, and then they do more of the Facebook Live and their Instagram Live just to give that balance. But you can do that. I write copious notes, like literally over my desk with just pieces of paper, and I have topics for all that I'm doing this week because I'm still a writer. I'm living in the digital age. I still love to write things down. So keep that journal. I mean, I have an inspiration board right here of Post-it notes of all the projects that we're working on. There's got to be, I don't know, 50 project notes on the wall here next to me. These are all projects that are going through. So however you're inspired, however you can do what you can do, keep writing it down and keep following through. Even if it's just a draft on Facebook or it's a draft of a blog, at least write something down and get that going, because that's really gonna how you're gonna work on it. If you want to procrastinate, fine. You know, give yourself a 15-minute window to go procrastinate, and then come back and just do it. Yeah, I take walk breaks like every hour, and I'll go and feed birds, and I'll walk up and down my staircase, and I'll make a phone call. And I know, you know, when I come back, I have a project to do where I will not finish a project until I reward myself with that walk. And that's how to get things done, because there's too many distractions in social media. There's too many rabbit holes that you can go run around, and you think you're doing research, and 2 hours later, you haven't really done anything. And if you struggle with that, try and become accountable to someone. Ask a buddy to hold you accountable. I did this with a friend of mine called Alfred, and we have official permission to say to each other, by the end of today, I have to write 3 blogs. And I've asked him to call me to make sure I've written those 3 blogs. And because I know he's going to be calling me, I get them done. So it's not difficult, but it's not easy. But there are certain structures that you can put in place that, you know, might help you get through that. And really, you just need to get comfortable with your writing. You need to get comfortable making video. You need to make comfortable sort of engaging with people. So all of these factors, you know, just build into a really good way of talking about it. And then when you have that blog, you can recycle it so many times. You can make it a newsletter. You can break it down and have 100 tweets out of one blog. You can have multiple Facebook posts. You can have people coming to your website and just following it through. And more times than not now, my blogs start off as a video. I'll make the video first, and then I'll transcribe it into a blog. And that's how my process works. So there's lots of different ways that you can create this content that makes you very approachable, very engaging, and doesn't take a lot of time. You know, we can write a blog from start to finish and have it published in less than half an hour. So, you know, the excuse of like, I don't have time and all this kind of stuff, you know, we have the time. It's really just how we use that time, which makes a difference. And then when we've got that blog on our website, that's when we start to share it. There's lots of apps that, you know, you can use for social share. Gurjeet and I were talking about it today because the links on her website are not working right now because she was saying that her website designer needs to update the plugins, and sometimes good plugins can break. So you back up your website just before you update the plugins. But lots of ways that you can share that very, very quickly and from your phone, super easy. And those shares bridge the connection from your website to your community. So people connect with you. Initially, they find out, like I was looking at Barbara's page, I asked her to share it. First thing I did, I went to a Facebook page and I liked it. Then I'm going to look for good content. If I can find good content, I'll share it with my audience, which is how it starts. Then my audience will say, oh, well, that's interesting. How is that done? I didn't know you could do that. And that's where social media is its sweet spot. And at that point, that's when the sales start to happen. And invariably, that's the connection point. You know, you find something out, you like it, you then share it, people start talking, stuff happens. So that blog, and this is just a screenshot of my website. I'm doing my best to write a lot more blogs this year. I've done a pretty good job. And you can see that the buttons are right there to be able to share anything that we have. Get in touch with me on whatever platform. I have our address of our office. I have my email. I have my phone number. Lots of great ways that people can easily get in touch with us. And you know, that's so important. The inner circle that I was telling you about. It's been one of the greatest things that I didn't appreciate when we created this. Is the amount of camaraderie that comes into this group between people. So now what we're finding in a circle is that someone asks a question, before I even got to my phone to answer the question, it's been answered by somebody else in the group. And you're like, you gotta love that, when people are actually doing your own work for you. And you'll find that with social media, is that more and more people are using Facebook now, like the Yellow Pages. So they may well say, I am looking for, a way of fundraising for a church. Or I am looking for some help for my daughter who's 14 weeks pregnant and has still got morning sickness and doesn't know what on earth to do, and she's not at work. And suddenly there's all these sparks that go through my brain, like, oh, they need to speak to Barbara. Oh, they should be speaking to Kajit. Oh my goodness, they should go speak to whoever. And then I'm sort of messaging saying, have you tried, or do you know? And that engagement just works again and again. Just by being active, being in touch with people. This guy at the bottom of that screen with the headset on, his name is Colin. Colin lives in Melbourne, Australia, and he was getting up at 3 in the morning to join our group. Now that's commitment. But he so loved the engagement that came out of being live in the group rather than just watching the recording, that he deliberately got up in the middle of the night to join our group because of the engagement. It's an awesome thing. What we also do in our group is that we have this very engaging virtual coffee on a Thursday at 10 a.m. and lots of coffee. I do this AMA thing where you can ask me anything for an hour every Thursday morning, and it works great for anybody in our program. So whatever you do with your product, just find different ways of being engaging enough so that people want to go out and find you and do stuff with you. I got to run through this, but we do hot seats where we put people in a hot seat and we help categorize their business. But anyway, let's get back. In the social world that we live, we want to become thumb-stopping, so that when people are scrolling through the phone and they look at what it is that you've written, and that suddenly they stop and they go think, that's awesome. That's where the engagement starts. So how do you do that? Normally your social media is from your personal page, but you need a business page because you need to be writing that content over on a business page. So you get the analytics, so you can boost it, you can advertise it. So you need both. But what's really important is that you are super easy to get found on social media. I find, Eileen and I talked about this the other day, she has a surname on social media that is not actually her surname. She just did it for fun a long time ago. And now her actual name is not her Facebook name, but it's been too long to change it. So sometimes it's a little bit harder to find people. So make your social media easy to find. Make sure there's a very simple link from your personal page to your business page. You list your business page as your employer. That will make a huge difference to how you start the journey. And then with that, your posts need to be educational. So whether you're educating people, whether you're engaging with people, whether you're entertaining people, I'm just skipping through because I got a lot of slides, whether you're empowering people, all of those 4 steps all lead towards making a difference. So here we go, social media. I say to people all the time, don't use it to impress people, use it to impact people, because the impact is where it's going to make the difference. So we teach that, as I say, in these 5 E's. We do this, in fact, tomorrow is week 2 of our Inner Circle class, and we're doing entertaining tomorrow, which is going to be a lot of fun. But most of that entertaining, most of that social media engagement now is actually coming through video. 80% of social media posts on Facebook now that work are video driven. 80%. And of that 80%, almost 80% again are not listened to. People just watch. So creating that engagement with having great facial expressions, going a lot closer to the camera, moving your arms around to begin with, and to people join the call, super important. And then you can have featured videos on your Facebook page. You can create playlists that people can go back, and you can share these playlists so people can go back and watch your videos again. And I have just found time and time again, short videos on a daily basis can make a massive difference to your engagement. So wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, and you can see all these different backgrounds, I try and make a video. I mean, that one there, we were at a truck warehouse at 5 in the morning to film this convoy going out on the highway because it was a wide load. I thought, I had never done a video at 5 in the morning. I did a video on a plane. I've done a video at a baseball field there in Seattle. I always try to think, where haven't I done a video from? And we do them. So people are getting a lot of context. They're seeing a lot of different things. And believe me, it really does start to make a difference when there's not just you talking with a white screen behind your head, but there's real context to the way you make videos, and they're so much more engaging. You can see, look at the reach on some of these videos that I've done. I mean, this is going back quite some time now, and I've been doing them for a long time. But you can reach thousands of people, and you can get thousands of people view your videos. I'm not spending any money. This is all organic reach. And this is, where video really, really makes a difference. You do need a little bit of kit. I mean, I have an iPhone. I have an external mic that I'll often put in. I have a little tripod, and I have a gimbal that I use. So there's lots of different ways that you can make those videos happen for very little money extra, but much, much higher quality. And then the whole idea again is to have posts that are thumb stopping. So whether you're asking questions to build community, which we do all the time, and you can see incredible engagement. Like this week, we've had all this snow, and the amount of streams of conversations about people talking about the weather and the snow and sharing videos and sharing pictures. It's been incredible. You can tag other people in a post so they get a notification that their name's in a post. And as soon as they do that, they pick it up, they read it, they'll often write back. Great way of sort of engaging with people. These are some of the clients that we've worked with in the past. This is Jen Williamson. She's a painter, an artist, struggling to get people to buy her artwork. But because of her social media, she's really gone behind the scenes of how she prepares her canvas, the thought behind her posts. She did a show recently in New York. She's getting commissions all over the place, and she's triple the price that she was 3 years ago for her artwork because of her engaging social media. This is some clients of ours here at Abbotsford. The rental market in Abbotsford is hot right now, but a few years ago it was not so hot. And most of them are running like an 8 to 12% vacancy rate. We managed to get a social media strategy to say, how about you need 7,000 likes on Facebook now? They have wait lists. So that they've created, from leaving money on the table now to actually having people lining up to want to rent with them because it's come around that well. My friend Ashley here is a personal fitness trainer. She stopped doing ICBC, WCB work. She now just picks very sort of more high-end clients who would need active rehab. She's put her price up from $80 to $120 an hour. And she has a wait list again because people through her social media, through the videos that she's made, really know her expertise, really know what's possible, and they want to go and work with her. So, again, success story after success story of just how this can make a difference. My friends at the Salt Wellness Center, they've done so well now. Like Super Bowl was yesterday. As soon as the Super Bowl finished, Tamsin was online sort of saying, you know what's the difference between the Patriots and the Falcons? The Patriots float. They heal our athletes through floating them, and she was bang on the money right after the Super Bowl. I mean, it was awesome. I just love people sort of being innovative like that. These clients of ours in Aldergrove, they make wood timber home kits, and most of their business now is in the United States because of the exchange rates. It used to be all in Canada a couple of years ago, and it's all through social media, Google AdWords, and campaigns that we run for them that they get the leads, and they get more leads than they know what to do with right now, because of their engaging social strategies. They're on Pinterest, they're on House, which is actually their two main lead generators. They have Twitter, they have Facebook, they have a newsletter going out. All of these pieces, really make a difference as to where they're going with their marketplace. So what's the secret? I think I've given you a lot of secrets already. How do you make stuff happen? It's simply this. I just want you to have some fun and tell your story. Because if you enjoy your social media, if you really, with a passion, tell people what it is that you do and how you do it, they will want to know more. So just skip through some of these. When you get Googled, are you on that page 1? Because like my dentist friend here who was on page 7, nobody's finding him. So when people are Googling your name and Googling your business, it's so important that you appear on page 1 so that now that dentist, 3 years on, not only is he number 1 on Google, organically, but he's got tons and tons of reviews that people are actually out there telling people how good he is rather than sort of waiting for somebody else to pick up the phone and ask, what the prices are. He was able to start a new business because of that. So he already had all the equipment. So now a second business called the BC Head Pain Institute, where they work with people who have TMJ and lockjaw and tinnitus and that. So he works with them because of the skill that he has in being an orthodontist for braces, but he understands the nervous muscle structure of the head probably better than anybody else. And the social media has been so successful in his business, he's been able to create a second one. But it's not just Facebook. I mean, you've got to add value wherever your clients are. So maybe they're on LinkedIn. So when they arrive at your LinkedIn, what are they finding? Are they getting enough information on your platform that they can get in touch? So this is mine. I have the newest version of LinkedIn. I don't know if you do, but that's my profile picture. But in my contact details, there's my website, which I've got in brackets. It's a training website. There's my Google Plus link. There's my Facebook page. Here's my mobile number. Here's my email. Here's my Twitter account. Here's my Skype. Here's my WeChat. I'm trying to make myself as engaging as possible in whatever way someone reached. I had a Skype call this morning with some people in California. It's just how business gets done these days. So make yourself as accessible and as easy to reach as possible, and people will just love you for it. The ideal scenario is to get recommended. And the more recommendations you can get on Google or on LinkedIn, the more likelihood people will want to do business with you, because these other people are selling what you do. I mean, it's great to get engagement. It's great to get sort of high fives and likes and comments, but it's the recommendations that make the difference. So when someone goes to your LinkedIn or your Google Plus or even your Facebook page, because I don't get reviews on my Facebook page because I've branded it as a personality, but if you brand yourself as a local business, you can get reviews. It's those reviews that sell you more than you can sell yourself, because you're getting that third-party trusted endorsement. If you're on Twitter, and a lot of people are still, when somebody arrives at your Twitter page, are you standing out? I deliberately just picked a picture of me with my coffee cup and my phone because that's part of our branding. My picture shows me smiling, engaging on my phone. So automatically, just visually, people can see I'm an engaging kind of guy. You can see my tweets I've reached 4,096 impressions in the last week. So nearly 4,100 people in 1 week on one platform. I don't know how many clients you need, but I'm guessing 4,100 client or 4,100 views. If you had a shop and you had 4,100 people come through your door, you would have a one-out floor. But this is our shop front now, and standing out from the crowd is what it's all about. Those thumb-stopping posts. How do you do it that someone wants to come back and engage with you? I don't have a massive Twitter following, but what I do is I do it very well. So when I fly, I normally fly with one airline there called Alaska. I have their credit card. I love them because I get points, I get companion tickets. And whenever I fly, I always thank them. It's this manners thing. So you can see here, that Alaskan Airlines that reach millions of people are retweeting my post. There it is. So that was my post, Alaskan Air, another amazing journey because I'm flying over Mount Hood there, coming out of Seattle. And now Alaskan is sharing my post to the whole world. Oh, it's Mount Rainier, not Mount Hood. But suddenly, there's Kate sort of shaming it from an Alaskan point of view. And it's like, whoa, here's somebody else sort of commenting the fact that I'm one of their top interactors. So all these people are sharing my stuff for me just because I'm using social media properly. I did it the other day with BC Ferries. I was on the ferry and I was working away with the Wi-Fi. I got a cup of coffee. I wrote to BC Ferries. The difference is, can you see that period in front of the @ sign? That means if I just wrote @BC Ferries, then the only people who would see my tweet would be people who like me and BC Ferries in their thing feed. Because I put a period in front of it, that means that everybody on my Twitter feed sees that post, and it's just that one little period that makes a difference. And right away, I got a message back from BC Ferries, which is on their wall, wonderful way to start your workday. Hope you have a great Monday. Again, this two-way conversation of engagement suddenly makes BC Ferries, a lot less, impersonal and a better way to deal with. Instagram is probably as popular right now as Facebook. For many people, if you look at Eileen Dreams and her Instagram. I mean, I love it. I almost wait for Eileen to post every day because she sends these little beautiful little vignettes of white rock and the water and the seagulls and the luminaire fountains. Not luminaire fountains. Lunar Festival. There we go. And people take pictures of everything. So whether they're taking pictures of the food or the snow or the newborn baby or the special event they were at, those pictures engage. And what we're finding more and more now is that engagement now is growing. I get much more engagement on my Instagram, would you believe, than my Facebook page. And part of that is because of the hashtag strategy that I use. You can see lots of hashtags that people find me through a keyword like social media marketing or bootcamp or education rather than my name. But I'm attracting people all the time. And you can see there's just a few, same picture of me looking at my phone. People can see I'm enjoying myself. I've got easy connections there to get to a special event or whatever that I'm doing. They can press a contact. Lots of ways that you can engage with people that people reach out and think, all right, got it. I think I know this person. I think I've heard of them before. And then the other part of Instagram, which I just love now, is little videos. They have a thing called Instagram Stories, which the videos only last for 24 hours. So what you can encourage people to do is to follow your story. So Snapchat does it, Instagram does it, because once that story is finished, it's gone. So this is one of Eileen's videos, Sarah. You know, and I see these little circles across. I see that she's created a story for the day. I'll go follow it because I know tomorrow it's gone. So you can create an urgency and a desire for people to just come and follow you just because of you're just giving little tasters of behind the scenes of what life is going on because of your stories, and it makes a big difference. Those hashtags, though, are just, you know, the way to go. There used to be an app, and I'm hoping it's going to come back. I keep talking about it. It's called Grammar. And you can just put in one hashtag, and what it would do is it would just give you all the other industry-related hashtags that work around it. And honestly, I didn't check today, but I should do that. Or maybe someone can check now while we're doing it. But hashtag strategy is critical to your Instagram strategy. And it's a great way of finding the right kind of people for your industry and being able to connect with them. I don't know if many of you use Snapchat. It's a platform that I really enjoy, and I have gotten to know some incredible thought influencers on social media who Snapchat a lot because I write a comment, they write back. I was talking with a lady today who was on a movie set in Hollywood, and she has a big name, and I wrote a comment. She wrote back, and I wrote back and said, that's very kind of you to take the time to write back to me. And I'm starting to get to know her. And some very big social media thought leaders, as I say, that I follow on Instagram and on Snapchat and on Facebook. And one of those platforms will be a place that I can get to know them and start that engagement. And these people become friends. And when they become friends, you can ask a favor. And you'll be amazed how much goodwill can be generated just having those two-way conversations with people, whatever platform it is that they're on. I use a great app. It's called Ghost Codes, because it's hard to find people on Snapchat. But if you just download Ghost Codes, it's free. And then you just pick the category of, so whether it's business or entrepreneurs or photography, you can pick people super easy through these sort of groupings. And you can see these little hearts here. They're called kudos. So you check the heart and the heart goes purple. And then they get a notification that you just gave them like a high five. And invariably they'll kudos you back, and then they'll click on your Snapchat link. Before you know it, you're building an audience. And it's that audience and that engagement that, again, leads to the business. So I hope you're having fun. I'm going to go up to Q&A in a minute here. But I just want to mention to you, if you're not in my inner circle right now, then I'm going to give you this free 1 month trial. It's right on the homepage of our website, weMakeStuffHappen.com. You'll see a box that says apply for the free 1 month trial, as you see there. No strings attached. You get 30 days to sit in our group for free. Everything I've ever published in the Inner Circle for the last 18 months is in that group. So you can go back down through that social media stream for as long as you want to keep digging. You'll find out everything we've ever done in the Circle. It's free. It's on me. And then at the end of that 30 days, you get an email saying, how was it for you? Did you enjoy it? Did you see value? How did you feel about joining us? It's $47 a month. That's where the sale comes in. So you've got to have a strategy of how you bring people into it, but that's how I do it, and it's working out very well for us. So just remember, social media is about leisure time. Social media is about fun. Social media is not about selling your stuff and ticking people off. But if you can be authentic, have some fun, create posts that engage, you've got to have a strategy. So as we teach in our winter boot camp, 2017 for us is a new beginning for us all. It's a new mindset. I know Barbara's here, Barbara and Bonnie, I think it is. You're here to learn. You just joined the meetup straight out the gate. You want to learn how you're doing exactly the right thing. You're changing your mindset. You're focusing on social media because you know that's where the eyeballs are. You want to grow your business. You've got great intention. And if you listen and learn, you will have great results. And I love that people do that. So this is Debbie and I, my wife. Thank you so much for staying the course of this webinar. I'm going to go back to the live chat now and we can chat. But I really hope we can stay in touch, not just once a month through the webinar, but through, as I say, the inner circle or our blog or any of the social platforms that I shared. So I'm going to stop my share. And I see some questions that are already there. That's awesome. All right. So let's see what those chat questions were. Let's see, what do we got? Of course, I'm doing this in public now, so if anybody's messaging me privately, you're all seeing it, but that's okay. Pollux is awesome. He's our videographer. Grammar is no longer in the App Store. Seriously, that's too bad. Okay, so how do you accomplish this all in one day, Barbara? Well, that's just easy. Let me tell you how we do it. I'm going to unmute you all. So, okay, so you have one of these, right? Okay, and what I try and do is I try and use it as effectively as I can. So I might look at my phone and say, okay, for the next 10 minutes, I want to create a Facebook post and I want to engage with 5 people. So I find my post, I take a picture of the snow as I've been doing for days, I'll share it out, and then I will go to my Facebook feed and I will start scrolling through my Facebook feed and I'll stop a few key people that I follow. And you can, there's an option on Facebook, it's called See First. So you can pretty much, some people that I really want to follow automatically come up on my phone, like such and such has started a live video, or somebody just posted on Instagram. I actually get notifications on my phone of the people that I want to stay in touch with. So it's coming to me. Then I engage with Jen Herman on Instagram or the Yacht Stew on Instagram. Or I have these posts set to come up every day because I love them. They make my day because I was brought up by a beach and I live by a mountain, which I love, but I miss the beach and I get a little White Rock Beach, feed every day because of Eileen. If my kids were young and we were in a family way, I tell you, I'd be following Gajit every day with her wisdom, because I read a story today of a lady who miscarried at 4 weeks in an airport stall in a washroom, and it was so sad. Stuff happens on social media, so you just got to follow. I got a friend who's a mortgage broker who's in Costa Rica right now. Her name is Christina Berg. And I'm following her journey in Costa Rica because I've got it set up because I'm interested how she's doing business mortgage brokering in Costa Rica with a backpack, even though she used to live in Langley. So I pick the people that I want to follow. I deliberately say, okay, I have 10, 15 minutes because I have other stuff to do. I do it and I come out quite often. Then I'll just get my phone. I'll put it face down. And then I go do what I do. And then an hour later or so, I'll go to my Instagram, and then I'll go to my LinkedIn, or I'll go to my Twitter feed. And that's how I do it in a day. And I love it. I want to check it more often, but I have so much work to do. I have to discipline myself. Otherwise, nothing gets done. But that's how I do it.
Thank you. It's the focus, the 10 minutes, because as you're right, you get so caught up in rabbit holes. That's what I find I do.
Oh, I am that digger.
Yeah. And then I just give up, and then I don't go back because then I'm behind.
Then I forget what I was looking for or doing.
On Facebook, you can save posts. So if you go through it and think, oh, that's good, and you do the drop, you save it, and then you go back later on, and then you carry on. Or I flag emails that I know I need to reply to, but I don't have time, so I just flag them. Or sometimes I'll just screenshot my phone so I remember what it is I want to see, and I go back to my photo gallery. Oh, yeah. So simple little tricks like that could help you stay focused.
Okay, thank you.
Easy, really.
So,
Go
I
ahead.
don't know if there's other questions, but yeah, like when you're just starting out, how do you decide which platforms to use
Well,
rather than trying to do them all at once?
oh gosh, no, please don't do that. It's like you know that phrase, shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
You want to go where your audience is. So I am guessing that your audience primarily would be Facebook and Pinterest. Because you're looking for those moms who are often on Pinterest looking for fundraising ideas or crafting ideas. So having really good Pinterest would help. But more likely than not, Facebook. And if your kids are in a school, there's probably a school page, or whether it's a Girl Guide troop or baseball team or whatever it is. Find those pages and then just be helpful. Don't just go in there and say, oh, this is me. I'm the fundraising lady and we're going to save you 25%. Whatever. That will come. But in the meantime, just be helpful and just say, we did something for Pacific Academy quite recently. They all, at Christmas time, they all did this. And we just sent them a check for $354 or something. Not quite selling. You're just sharing a story about, otherwise I said, do you want to be door knocking, selling chocolate at $5 a bar, and when the snow is like up to your knees right now? I don't think so. So just giving people, I'm just speaking out of my head here, but just examples of what you've done that have made a difference for other people could really help.
Okay.
Yeah. Daryl, you were talking today about snow clearing. You recommended a business of somebody who was snow clearing, and then I saw Rob Houston said, oh, I wish that guy had been on Facebook because, I could have made him some serious money yesterday by recommending him. That was just from your post, right, this morning?
Yeah, I told him he should have a Facebook page about a month ago, and I offered to do it, and he said, oh, I don't have the money. Okay. I was going to work with him.
Oh, but, he's obviously busy now, but
yeah.
How do you know how to get in touch? If he'd had a Facebook page, you shared his page and said, here's my buddy Rob. He's got a truck and a snowplow, and if you need him in your subdivision, go check him out. He probably doesn't have time right now, but who knows when the snow's going to come back? We probably thought we'd all finish with it for the year, and it's coming back, with a vengeance. And it's, oh my gosh, it is still snowing right now.
It's nuts, hey? I'm in Langley, so I'm like you. It's horrible.
This whole snow thing has totally brought us together, hasn't it?
Yeah.
My wife's in Australia right now, and it's like, of all the time of the year that you could have left me, my gosh. But,
what, is she the shoveler? Is that one?
Well, we normally do it together. I have to say, I'm not mad enough to sort of say, honey, stay out, I'll do the drive. And we enjoy doing it together, actually. I find shoveling so very therapeutic. But I have no choice now. And the other day when it was so deep, it's like, how am I even going to do this?
I know.
So you know what? I took a picture. I put it on Facebook and said, okay, let's do it. And then my next picture was when I finished the drive. So it motivated me, because that competitive edge of me to put it out there. So, and now everybody knows, because I always share that picture of our house and Debbie and I, and that story keeps me engaged with a lot of people. A friend of mine who's a big name in real estate training, she wrote me that and said, Jonathan, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Sorry for the snow. And she's in Toronto. And it's Valerie Garcia. How would I normally call her up and say, hey, Valerie, how's it going? I might. But she's writing on my Facebook page because I'm sharing pictures about the snow we cleared. That's a simple engagement makes a huge difference. Just doing this webinar tonight, I could have cancelled it. Oh, well, it's snowing. See you next month. No, I committed to hosting it. You guys paid your PayPal, which is great. Here I am. And in fact, I think virtual meetups are pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't have to drive. I don't have to, we don't buy food or anything, but which is not fair for the fox and fiddle, but we'll get there soon again. But in the meantime, at least we can keep engaging. I'm recording this. I'll send you all a link in a few minutes. And then, we'll be able to carry on. You can watch it again. And then you might know somebody who needs my services, or I might know somebody who needs your services. Eileen's beautiful cards. Lisa Sasevich has one of these cards right now. I was saying to her, we've got to get more of your details on the back, because just somebody seeing eileendreams.com may look okay, but it's because you've just got it says "Made with Love by Eileen," handwritten on the corner here. Nobody's really going to know how to get in touch with you because it's not in your face enough. So I'm thinking, there's Lisa Sasevich, best sales trainer in the world, probably, with one of your cards on her desk. But on the back, we haven't got enough contact details for her to know that who you were. So there's little points of engagement. I mean, I have my own thank you cards that we send out, which is that picture of Debbie and I. And on the back is my website and logo with .com, and that's how I do my cards. And then they're just blank, and people can write inside. But
who did those for you?
I got these.
Because they're quite nice quality. I always have
It's like a linen print. Oh, I know where I got them from. Vistaprint.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got them from Vistaprint, and they were not expensive. They were really crazy deal. Sometime like 50 off or something, and free shipping. And I ordered it on this sort of papyrus parchment print or something. And they're good. They're really good quality, and they came with envelopes. And I can't remember how much it was, but it was not big money. So yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. My whole screen just changed then. I don't know what. Something happened, but everybody's still here, so that's interesting. I don't know. But now it changed.
How does rev.com work for you? Because I'm not a very good writer, so I've decided to do everything video because that's what I specialize in.
Yeah.
I don't like writing.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to...
I have a new app now, which is called the Rev Recorder. So I can literally now verbally just record on my phone through rev.com's new app. And I can literally then send that recording to rev.com from my phone. And I can have that transcription back normally within about 20 minutes.
That's
It's
good.
$1 a minute. So my three-minute rant can come back to me in 20 minutes for $3.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's just it's called
REV?
rev.com, yeah. I did a mastermind with 6 people the other day, and we all had 10 minutes. And I just left my phone in the middle of the room, and I just recorded each person's mastermind. And then I sent them a file. And they were so grateful that I'd gone out of my way to send them a file. Blew them away when I sent them a transcript, so they actually had notes to actually go and act on. And it cost me like $10. So could I type for an hour? No. Would I type for an hour? No. Would I send it to rev.com and pay a few bucks? Absolutely. So I use it all the time. Even if I'm doing a newsletter, quite often on a Sunday morning, I'll think about my newsletter for the week. And I have my quiet time, my coffee. I'll just speak into my phone what I want to say in my newsletter. Have it transcribed so it's sitting in my inbox for Monday morning. Change a few words, but my newsletter's done.
How's the transcription quality?
It's amazing. I would say it's probably 99.8% what I expect. And what they actually say is that if you give them a 3-star or less, that person will never work on your account again. But I just find the accuracy is incredible. Yeah.
So for your videos, you said you just use your iPhone or I have a Samsung, doesn't matter. Do you use any kind of app to make it look a little bit better? Or?
I have a paid app. It's called good question. Let me tell you. Darryl might know this better than me. Film IC or Film Mic Pro. It's that one there. But this is like a $5 app or something. And you get so much more exposure or control and light control. And,
so is it Film Mic?
So Film IC or Film Mic, if you like, one of the two. Pro. And it absolutely is fantastic. So then you get a counter going, so you can see it by the millisecond. You can adjust the exposure, you can adjust the light, and then set it so it stays on fixed. It's not going in and out. sometimes with iPhoto does that. And if you go to my landing page for the boot camp and you see that video that I made standing here in the office, that's the app that we use for that. Alex does it, and it's awesome. And
Could you spell it, or give me the spelling for it again? I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, so it's film, F-I-L-M.
Yeah.
So Filmic or Filmic, if you want, whatever. Pro. That's what the app's called.
So Filmic Pro?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
And Jonathan, do you still use that blue mic that you plug into your iPhone?
I do. It's in my car. Yeah, but I thought I had it on the slide, so it goes into it's just a mic, it's not a speaker, but then it's a directional setting. But what I've been doing most recently, Peter, is Debbie for Christmas bought me these Bose wireless headphones with a microphone, so I'll often have them in my ears now.
Okay.
I have the headset just here, and I use that probably more than my blue mic right now because they're awesome. Apple earbuds will work really well as well for recording, but I'm using my Bose ones like all the time now, so that's why my blue mic is in the car. But yeah, good quality sound, good lighting, and a steady image. Your videos are home runs every time.
Yeah, you can use your Bluetooth headset too. I've done that.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's awesome.
And I actually use the built-in camera apps. A lot of the newer phones, you can do it manually anyways.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
The number one thing is it's good lighting. Because if you do that, you don't need to adjust stuff because it makes it grainy.
Yeah. That speaks a man who does it all the time. And I have little tripods. I have Gorilla Pods that I wrap around my steering wheel if I'm doing a video in the car, not while I'm driving, or I'll put it over my monitor, or I'll put it up on a shelf while I'm in a room and talk so I've got hands-free. It can work really well. Any other questions?
Wow, this is awesome. Oh, they do translations too.
Yeah, it's great. So the next meetup will be March, let's have a look. March 6th, I think, because I think March 13th will be spring break. So probably March 6th, I think, will be the next meetup. But please go to my website and sign up for Inner Circle. Yeah, it's free. You get a ton of resources that you can just go follow straight out the gate. And I'd love you to meet me on Thursday when we have Elaine Williams, because she is awesome. It's going to be 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. So come join us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for coming out and or staying in and coming out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I hope it's all right. I use your story about Taylor and so on, because that's just going to be my story now. Things we do, eh?
Yeah.
I know. I get it. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Any other questions, or are we good?
Oh, I just want to say thank you for answering my question about the reviews, because I was looking for a few minutes and I couldn't figure it out.
No, if you have a personal business page that becomes a coach page, the reviews I didn't know that. I had 24 reviews on my Facebook page, and when I changed it from a brand to a personality, I lost them.
Yeah, mine doesn't have it either. So that's when I went,
Yeah, Kajit lost it the other day, but they reappeared again. Sometimes they glitch, but if you have a brand page, your local business, you're totally fine. All right. Well, I'll say good evening. I'll probably see you in a coffee shop soon, Peter.
Yeah, sounds good.
I don't know when I'll be in Calgary, Trudy, but I'm sure I will soon. I know Alfred's staying here next week, so we'll catch up with him. And Barbara, Bonnie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excited to follow your journey on your Facebook page. Everybody, in that chat box is a link to the Facebook page. Go over and like it and give them some Facebook love.
Great, thank you. Appreciate
I don't
that.
see the link in the chat box.
Right at the top. Go to the top of the page. It's called fundraisingrevolution.com.
Fundraisingevolution.com.
Oh, evolution.com. Yes, and then you'll see a little blue Facebook icon at the bottom of the screen, and you can link to it from there.
Yeah.
I only see 4.
Right?
I only see 4. I see 4 comments in the group chat.
Yeah, if you scroll to the top,
Very top one.
just scroll all the way up. It happened before, maybe before you joined us.
It's at show 7:05.
We're putting it in again. It's right there now.
I
Okay.
have it now.
Okay.
Good.
There you go.
Thank
That's a handful of likes right at the gate.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Good night.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Stay safe and stay warm.
It's the best.
Bye for now.